All right, guys, we've got the snowmobile loaded up here. Today we are heading to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Let me show you our map once. Here is our, oh, that's not the map. Let me get the actual map. Alrighty, here we go. So we are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are headed with the snowmobile up to Paradise, Michigan. That's over the Mackinac Bridge into the Upper Peninsula. This area has some of the best snowmobile trails of the entire state, and so we are taking the truck far beyond the Supercharger network to go find those trails. The last charger possible on this trip is Mackinaw City, before we even cross the bridge into the Upper Peninsula. So the charger is right here in Mackinaw City. It's about 70 miles to where we're staying for the weekend. The problem is, we don't know if the cabin actually has power available to charge off of. I mean, it might just be a 120 volt extension cable out of a window. But the whole point is we have to return to Mackinaw City to that charger on one charge. In this weather, Cybertruck's efficiency isn't that good. You know, we're looking at about 200 miles to a single charge in this weather, plus we have the snowmobile. Can we do 140 miles round trip in bad weather with snow on the ground, with no pavement and no superchargers? Whatever is about to happen is going to be crazy. Let's get on the road. Really quick before we actually leave. This is the snowmobile. This is a 1997 Polaris Indy 500. This thing is about 30 years old, and I just bought it. And I don't really know what to think about it so far. It is fast, it's awesome. We've got an ATV ramp here that I can load it into the truck with, and other than that, the bed is empty. So when the bed is empty and we have all of our stuff that we actually have to travel with, these folding seats in the back here are super, super nice. So I've got my 2 Pelican cases here, all my snowmobile stuff. This new box from Joa, I'll show you that in a second. Actually, I think we're gonna do that right now. Joa sent me this box to check out, and it has quickly become, no BS, my favorite catch-all box in the truck. This trip I used it for my gloves, my hats, all my winter gear, but I'm usually using it for snacks or for groceries. It stays in my truck, folds up, out of the way, carries anything. Link in the description if you want to check it out. In the front, I've got some traction boards, extra extension cable, cover for the snowmobile, and a shovel, pretty much. I could fit a few more things up here if need be. But yeah, this thing is just caked with ice. Oh, yeah, it won't even close. All right, we made it to our charger. This is Gaylord, Michigan. We actually made it. I had my doubts. We arrived with about 6%. We're already up to 8 here, and we are just charging enough to get to Mackinaw City. So we're here for about 20 minutes. Gonna make it north about 58 miles, and the last couple of miles have been absolutely bananas with this snow coming down. Let me show you the outside of the truck. So this Charger isn't all that well plowed. We had to kind of plow our own spot here. Just dip the front bumper in there. This charging stall is kind of mangled from a plow somewhere, and if you touch the charging cable, the whole thing stops. Ask me how I know. Very loose cable there, very loose connection. And so, and look at this mound of snow. That's a tree. And that's the mound of snow. Down here are some Electrify America chargers, and you can see a pile of snow next to it. And so all of these Superchargers are just kind of snowed in. There you can see we made our own parking spot again. Unbelievable. This is probably coming down at 1 or 2 inches an hour. But, oh man. Efficiency overall was pretty good in this one. I think we did just over 600 watt hours per mile, which for that stretch is not terrible with the snowmobile in the back, with this snow on the ground, with these cold temperatures. We kept it going pretty slow for the most part. I mean, we're probably doing between 60 and 70 on the highway and 50 or so on back roads until we hit the snow. This was recent. So we're probably doing 30, 25, 30, 40 maybe in the snow. I mean, the snow increases your friction like rain does, but we were going a lot slower, so I think it was a break even there. I need to make sure that all of our brake lights here are visible in this, because you can't see anything when you're on that road. So everything's looking good here. Straps are tight. That sled is happy as a clam. We're gonna look. This is, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Unbelievable. We're gonna use the bathroom here, get some snacks, get some dinner, and then we can sit back and relax before Mackinaw. All right, we made it to 50% on this V2, about an hour up to Mackinaw City, if that'll come into focus. 15% arrival. We're going to unplug. Nice. Oh, oh no.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh no. I think I can go on this side. They should reach. This looks plowed. They don't even plow it? Because
this must be the intended side.
It says charge on other side. Oh, this is fun. No way. Well, we have discovered something pretty interesting here at the Mackinaw City Supercharger. Context here is part of a paid parking lot for the ferry that goes to Mackinac Island here in the bay. The other side of it is a hotel. The hotel is actually the host of the Supercharger, but it's closed in the wintertime. There are even signs here that say, hey, paid parking only, charge on the other side. The other side. We tried to pull up into the parking lot only to find, if that'll focus there, a 3-foot tall berm of snow. No truck's getting in there. No truck is getting in there, period. This side isn't even plowed. This side is not plowed at all. This side, though, is. This side is plowed poorly. Poorly. You can see the tire tracks here from another, Model Y or whoever else was here recently. But then you're also plugging into the opposite side. These are all made with the handles in the magic dock here to be unplugged and plugged in from this side. But everyone here has been charging from that side. So there's no trailer stall here. We pulled up sideways against these stalls. This is ridiculous. And you know, because it's not plowed, we had to once again make our own parking spot. Well, either way, we are here for probably 40 minutes or so. We're trying to get to 100% so we can make it all the way to our cabin in paradise. Let's take a look at the map again. All right, so we arrived with about 17%, somewhere in there. This is our trip up here. We're gonna cross the Mackinaw Bridge here pretty quick over to St. Ignace and head north, about 70 miles here, top to bottom. And we have no choice but to charge to 100% here. There is no level 2 charger at this cabin. There is 0 DC fast charging options in this area. There's just nothing. There is absolutely nothing available for us here. So far, I mean, the nav thinks, I mean, it's optimistic that we'll make it round trip even without a 100% charge, but being parked for 3 days, you never know what's gonna happen. Or, you know, if you wanna run errands, you're gonna burn 10%. If we have a 10%, you know, round trip arrival, what are you supposed to do? You're not arriving back with a whole lot, so. Decided to take a walk here. All these hotels are abandoned for the season. This is a ferry dock, also abandoned for the season. Only moonlight here. This is crazy. And there's the bridge again. Let's zoom in, maybe. That's awesome. What a view. What a view. Here's that berm here. I'm standing in the middle of the road. Yeah, this is 2 or 3 feet tall, and you can probably see my footprints here. This is where the driveway is supposed to be. This is the entrance to this supercharger. Right here. And then way off in the distance is the Mackinac Bridge. We're just about wrapped here, 99%, 13 kilowatts. Well, that's gonna work its way down to 0 here pretty quick in the next couple of minutes. Luckily, our round trip actually is more optimistic than expected, and this is including, you know, our last 200 miles of efficiency on our way up here. It's 28-ish% round trip arrival back to this charger after going to this cabin, and that's not including any charging or any, I guess, loss of you know, phantom drain at the cabin either. Quick check of the weather, a couple of lake effect snow bands coming across the UP that we'll be driving through at the very end. Pretty clear here right now. About 70 miles, hour and 12 minutes to go. Once this hits 100%, we're going to unplug. Quick check here also, 233 miles so far this trip, so that'll be 303 miles total for the day once we're done. 627 watt hours per mile. Not bad at all. Not bad. Also, really quick here, this charge was almost $40. We've pulled 106, almost 107 kilowatt hours. This charge. We've probably been here, I don't know, 45 minutes at least. So, yeah. $40. That's how much it costs to supercharge a Cybertruck. We're good. The extra little bit's not gonna make that much of a difference. Let's, oh boy. The snow's deep. If it will. There it goes. There it is. Plug it in backwards again. Let's get on the road. Just by these snow piles, how close we were getting to what they call Paradise, Michigan. It's wild, the localization of these snow bands that can just dump 3, 4, 5 feet of snow in one location, but you go 30 miles and there's nothing. The snowpack on the ground was out of this world. When there's this much snow, all of your addresses are covered, all of your mailboxes are covered, so we had a little bit of trouble finding the place. And we have made it to our cabin. We are in Paradise, Michigan, and check out these snowbanks. This is ridiculous. Those are probably 3-4 feet tall. That's the door in high mode. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We got a bunch of guys here backing in their trailers here. I'm gonna try and plug in here. Looks like there's an outlet on the very edge there, so looking good. Look at the snow on the roof too. This is unbelievable. We plugged in and broke out the beer. That's what you do. Not enough room in the fridge. Throw your beer in the snow. Good morning. It is the next morning and we got a little bit of snow last night. Not a ton, but just enough. But here's some of that snow again that you can see. We did that plug into the truck, pulling at 12 amps, and check this out. We apparently, I had no idea, are on the shores of Lake Superior. So that cabin, our cabin here just looks out over Lake Superior and it is frozen over. Man, wow. But that is Lake Superior. And maybe Canada way off in the distance, I can't quite tell. But this snow is just nuts. My contacts were in the truck overnight, so we're gonna see if we can use those today. I kind of need them. This is a snow pile next to our snowmobile trailer. This pile is like 10 feet tall. It's absurd. And then check out the snow on the roof, on the driveway. There's no pavement for 50 miles of here. Everything is snow-packed and just buried. And this is how they plow. They've got a skid steer, with a snowplow on the front. And that's just what they do all day. The snow has to go somewhere, so it must go up. This is the part of the show where we had to go pick up a rental sled. About an hour away, took us a while, but it was a really good chance to just sit back and enjoy the scenery in Paradise, Michigan. And we even got a small glimpse of what we'd be doing later. As we were getting ready to leave, one of our guys' sleds, his spark plugs were no good, and he had to do a repair right there in the middle of the road. It's all part of the fun and games, but at some point, it's time to get down to business. I fired up my 30-year-old Indy after a couple of pulls, and the other guys used their electric starts. Ah, well, the powder awaits. friends, is the Bra Tree. Some snowmobile intersections have a hangout place, a store maybe, with hot chocolate or coffee, in this case, hot dogs. And it's just a good place to stop for a bit, chat with friends, and recharge. So our buddy I mentioned earlier, whose spark plugs weren't working properly, he stayed back to wrench on his sled, and so we circled back to town, filled up on gas to go get him and bring him along. And what do you know, it wasn't very far until another sled broke down. I think what surprised me the most was that my 30-year-old sled was somehow running better than their brand new sleds. 2 of them broken down in the course of one morning. What? And so it's all part of the adventure, right? Broken down on the side of the trail, no cell service. It's an adventure, right? We ended up towing our buddy to the nearest, to our destination for the day, Tahquamenon Falls. And this is snowmobiler heaven. There's a brewery here. They've got bears on the wall. It's awesome. It was actually Valentine's Day when we stopped in, so they had specials, balloons on the walls. Very, very romantic with you and all of your dude bros. So we filled up there, metaphorically, and continued on. But this is their courtyard. Look at all that snow. There's picnic tables out here in the summertime. That's 3 feet of snow! But afterwards, we actually walked down to the falls, and they're bright orange. They call them the root beer falls, and it's all just the sediment from the dirt in the area. Just the minerals. It's really bizarre to see. It was also shocking how many families enjoy snowmobiling, like, as a collective unit. Check out this kid. That's a kid! But anyways, it's time to head on back. It is 9:30 in the morning. Quick check of the truck here. We arrived with 64% and we're currently at 87%. It's been trickle charging for about a day and a half now, maybe 36, 40 hours or so. We've gained 31 kilowatt hours and yeah, not too shabby. Currently, the truck says that we'll have enough to get to 100% by the time we leave. We're leaving this time tomorrow morning, about 24 hours from now, but we only need about 14 hours on this charger yet to get to 100%. That is a lot better than we expected. It's about 20 degrees outside. It's gonna stay around 20 degrees for the whole day. But yeah, fully charged. Only took us 3 days here on this trickle charger. So I thought the battery temperature was interesting too. It started pretty hot, of course, coming in from the Supercharger. It heated itself a couple of times and has been at a steady pace ever since then. Interior temperature was around 50 degrees, baking in the sun yesterday, which probably helped. But yeah, around, was that 40 something degrees, 43 degrees for, you can't see that, 43 degrees, holding steady on that battery temp. If it were any colder, we might see a pretty big hit to our charging efficiency, which is currently around 60%. It's not great, but hey, we're getting it done, getting back to civilization on a single 100% charge. Nice. As we got ready, we were trying to brainstorm ways that we can get our buddy with the broken down sled that we towed back to the trailhead on the trails again today. And one of the neighbors turned up miraculously, and we bartered with him to see if he would let us borrow one of his spare sleds. And he basically said, hey, only if I can come with too. So we actually got him along. So we loaded up, full crew +1, and went to town for some gas first before hitting the trails. And this is me definitely not admiring any of the new sleds. No chance. Telling you, the sights here were breathtaking. The variation in landscape and the trees, and it just kept on dumping snow all day, all night. I don't think the snow actually stopped the entire time that we were here. We aimed to do about 100 miles today, and that required a couple of stops. So here we are back at that junction for some coffee, hot dogs, what have you. But, oh, the snow. Oh, there's so much snow. Our destination for the day was Pine Stump. Pine Stump is an old meeting grounds, and it's a bar. Honestly, it's a bar. So that's where we're going. Remember what I said about how my sled was running fine? Yeah, about that. It's snapped in half down there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I heard that noise at that last stop and I was like, I don't know. Yeah. All right, this belt is snapped here. I'm not sure if you can see that. That's nice and loose on that side. It's literally snapped in half on that side. Not looking too good there. We do have a spare belt here, but do we have the tools to fix it on the trail? We're to find out. The other guys also went on ahead because we're in the back. So good thing we at least have the nice Polaris here to get us to safety if we need to. No cell service. Love it.
You got all these rubber pieces down here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
There's your belt.
Yeah, how long till they realize that we're gone? Won't be that long. Won't be that long. At least the scenery's nice. Check this out. All right, belt off, new belts on. I don't know if I did this right, but we did something. It seems to be good. We're gonna run with this for a little bit, close that up. Should be good to go. Well, we've been stopped for 10 minutes or so. Those guys still have not turned around. Okay. Put the old belt in the new belt spot. It was actually right about now when we were starting up that the crew realized that we were gone and made their way on back. And so here they are. These guys are experts. They've been doing this their whole lives, and they wanted to double check my work. And
good job, boys.
With good reason.
Let's go get something to eat.
I need to tell you about Pine Stump. Pine Stump is a legendary spot between two logging companies from the 1800s. This is where the two major roads between them intersected, where they got mail delivered, where they hung out, where they got their food and their supplies. And let me tell you, it has been a meeting place ever since for travelers near and far. What I ate here was a pasty. It's a northern Michigan specialty. It's meat, potatoes, and veggies all wrapped up in a pastry, like a shepherd's pot pie wrapped up in something that you usually hold. And the loggers up here loved them, and now they are a staple of northern Michigan cuisine. Pine Stump was both our halfway point and destination for the day. So we filled up gas and food, and we headed out. If you ask me, the difference between a 30-year-old sled and a brand new one is the suspension. And so at the end of the day, when the trails get beat down and it's real bumpy, it gets extremely difficult to keep up. I think this point might have been the biggest mistake of my day. My buddy let me try his 2025 Indy 600, 28 years newer than mine, and it about ruined my day to see how good the new ones have gotten. I've only driven my 1997 Indy 500, and I thought it was great. I thought it was wonderful. And driving his, man, was I wrong. That thing is nice. I gave it back before I lost my sanity. And then my camera died. How convenient. We actually did about 100 miles today, and I was exhausted. But time to put the sled back in the truck because we're leaving in the morning. Easier said than done.
That's why. Yeah.
And it's the next day in 3, 2, 1. Just about to head out here. We are at 99% or 311 miles. It says 30 minutes remaining. It's been saying 30 minutes remaining for the last, 2 or 3 hours. But I'm gonna run defrost here to get the windshield cleared. We should be good to go. We are all packed up in the truck. Defrosting took about 2% off the top of our battery. We're leaving with 97%. Nav wants us to do one stop in Gaylord for about 40 minutes to make it all the way back home to Grand Rapids. It takes another 30-ish% to get to the next charger in Cadillac, so 29% arrival. We might be able to squeeze that one. Tons of snow coming down, especially down below in the Lower Peninsula. So we're gonna see, take it slow. Let's get on the road. Crossing the Mackinaw Bridge, which is larger than the Golden Gate, mind you, was pretty hairy in whiteout conditions, and that was only the beginning. South of the bridge, roads got pretty nasty. Alrighty, we just got plugged in here, and already it says you have enough to continue your trip. We're in Gaylord, Michigan. We did skip over Mackinaw City. We sailed right through Mackinaw City, and I think we arrived back there with around 65%, which, if we had no charging at the cabin, we would have made it back to Mackinac with about, 30%-ish back to that supercharger. So good to know for future trips, for future snowmobiling trips with that sled in the back. We are good to go. So it looks like the nav wants us to either charge here for like an hour, 41 minutes to make it all the way back home, or we can stop again in Cadillac. I think we're going to stop again in Cadillac just to give ourselves a break. That last stretch was pretty hairy, very, very snowy, very icy, a lot of black ice. You can't see it, suddenly you're sliding sideways. It's not fun. 130 miles, almost 3 hours of driving, and that's, we're taking that real slow. 606 watt hours per mile. We were running maybe 540 until preconditioning kicked in for this supercharger, but we're good. We're to charge here not too long. We're to grab some breakfast, or we might overcharge a little bit so we can sit in town for a bit. But other than that, we'll be good to go. Trip so far, 437 miles. 267 kilowatt hours burned. That's 613 watt hours per mile. That's fine. I'm happy with that, honestly. With the snowmobile in the back, I am happy with that. This is downtown Gaylord. Pretty quaint. I like it. Here. That's awesome. So this told us we were going to arrive with 12%. We actually arrived with 4%, so we're glad we're overcharged there. That last stretch was 78 miles. That's almost 600 watt hours per mile. We've got about 100 miles left, just under an hour and a half back home. This says we're going to be here for 45 minutes. That's a long time, but this is a V2, not surprised. So we're going to see if we can't cut that a little short and pull in to our home charger with pretty close to 0. There's another Cybertruck there, and this thing is filthy. Check that out. Charging just stopped here randomly, 37%. We need a lot more to make it home. Is it going to restart? Unable to charge. clearance here. Oh, come on. If this one don't work, we're going to Big Rapids. Looks like we're here for what, 15 or so minutes to make it home. So all we need to do is get to, you know, another 20% or so. We'll be good to go. All right, we're done here in Big Rapids, 45%, which is a 14% arrival after 56 miles. Not too bad. Let's unplug. Last leg of the trip. Let's do it. And there you have it. That was my trip to Michigan's Upper Peninsula with the Cybertruck and a snowmobile. I'll be doing more adventures like this over the summer and into next year, so stay subscribed, stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next one.